Are you saying, Max, that others have done the same thing and gone unpunished today, whereas you've lost the podium?
Well, I mean, everybody's running wide, including myself, everywhere. You know, you're like turn 9, you can run wide. Turn 19, you can go off the track. Nobody would say anything. And the same with Bottas. You know, I went for a move, and he continued outside of the track. He came back, and I really had to pass him, and nothing has been done against that. Well, he definitely gained advantage. You know, if he just made the track, he would have been behind me. So, you know, it's not good for the sport. And then they have to be really clear on the rules that it's not allowed everywhere.
Yeah. It's almost like you've had a double punishment. You've had the engine penalty, and now this. The rule makers really need to get their heads around this situation.
Yeah, I mean, of course, the engine penalty is like it is, but you know, so we had a great race, but of course, with those stupid decisions, you know, you really kill the sport. I mean, I really hope the fans didn't like this decision, and hopefully next year they won't come.
Max, let's just start off by saying congratulations on such an incredible drive, because you cut your way through the field in wonderful style, but I cannot imagine how the emotions are after being led away from that driver's room and told that you weren't going to be in the podium. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm feeling good personally. Just, yeah, it's of course a big shame that you miss out on the podium afterwards. You know, they take you away again, but it's just one idiot steward up there which always makes the decisions, I don't know, against me.
Same steward as was in Mexico, is that correct?
Also, yeah, and I mean, also now I get a 5-second penalty and a penalty point. For what? You know, at the end of the day, everybody is running wide on the track everywhere. There are no track limits, and then the crowd, you know, it's loving it. And then you do something like that in front of World TV. You know, you pick up someone again from the podium and tell them to go away. I mean, at the end of the day, I still had a great race, so I'm still happy with Ford. But it's just, you know, the way they did it is, of course, unbelievable.
I mean, it probably means nothing now, but what do you do? What does Red Bull do? Do you go... We know that Christian Horner's already been in and spoken to the stewards.
You can't protest. It's in the rules, so they know how to make the rules.
So the rules need to be changed?
Well, at the moment it's just in their favor. They decide, and you can't do anything against it, which is, of course, really weird. So, yeah, but what can we do? You know, we cannot make up the rules, but it's not good for the crowd. I really hope next year nobody is coming. Because, you know, like this, the sport doesn't make sense. You know, everybody is loving it. It's great action. You go 5 or 10 centimeters in the inside of the curb. Everybody's running wide everywhere. They don't say anything. Like in qualifying in turn 19, you could just run wide wherever you liked. And then they kill the race basically like that.
Lewis, many congratulations. What a race. What a win. Was it in doubt at any point?
Naturally, when Sebastian got a better start than me, I was kind of... I didn't know how it was really going to go. I think I never stepped back, like in the sense of thinking, oh, I'm on the back foot. I didn't feel I was ever on the back foot. It's kind of you step aside and take a new approach. But then I noticed I was able to remain relatively close. Did I know I was going to be able to overtake him? Initially, I was thinking maybe just have to stay close and wait for the pit stops. But then I could see him pushing, and I'm thinking, I'm pretty good on my tires right now. He's going too quick through that corner. He's going to kill his tires, and that's what he did. He was driving too quick through some of those corners when he didn't have to, and he blew. You know, the temperatures would have been going up. If he had backed off in those places, he would have been able to keep me behind. I'm certain, but he didn't. And when I then he made a few mistakes. He was locking up, and I was like, I got this. So that's a great feeling when you have that positivity and that confidence. But yeah, I want to say big congratulations to the team. I'm proud to have been a part of getting all those points for the team, and everyone's worked so hard back at the factory to come from one era into a new era and arrive fighting a team like Ferrari and getting stronger through the year. Oh man, that's such a great feeling, and I hope everyone back at the factory is feeling the same way.
During the race, we did hear you on the radio at one point saying, "How did they get so close?" I mean, it was Sebastian really quick on the lap when you went in. He was quick on his out lap, but also they looked like they had pace and then they didn't have pace. It's been the story of the season. They show something and then they just can't manage to keep up with you or keep on top.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was odd because I think I had like a 6.5 second lead or something like that. So I imagine the guys behind were another chunk behind that. And then I come out the pits and Sebastian's right there with me. So I'm like, what the hell? Why the hell why is he so close? And then And then later on, then Kimi is all of a sudden relatively close. I'm like, how'd they get so close? You know, what was it, a strategy or what? But it's okay. It must have been something in the undercut or something, because I went quite long, I would imagine. But I think it was a great call the team did. It's definitely a bit too close, I think, in the first pit stop. But other than, if he had got past, it would have been another exciting thing, because I would have battled with him again to get by. But yeah, the team did a great job still.
Fantastic. And now you go to Mexico just needing to finish 5th or better, and the title's yours.
Well, I plan on winning that one, so, you know, I think the Ferraris will be quite quick there. I'm not sure how we're going to do in that at that track. I think they might have the upper hand, but we'll see. But I'm going to do the best I can to get the car in the best place and go in there with a lot of positivity. I love going to Mexico, so.
To do it on. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sebastian, in the end, they just had too much for you today, despite you getting a fantastic start in the race.
Yeah, not quick enough. I think that sums it up.
Were you surprised by that today?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so a few words then to say afterwards, a few words to say now. What are your thoughts going into Mexico? Obviously, it's a massive mountain to climb now.
Well, not happy now. I don't know. I didn't come here with a calculator in my pocket, so I plan to do the same in Mexico. And I think as a team, we want to win. I thought that we can today. We didn't, so I'm not so happy.
Do you know what you say, not enough pace? Were you struggling for fuel? Were you managing fuel towards the end?
No, I think Kimi probably struggled a bit more than I did. I saved up a bit more in the middle, so I had more to push at the end. Yeah, obviously the first stint struggling quite a lot with tyres. Lewis was quite a lot quicker. Also, when he got past, he was just playing. He could have been a lot faster at that point. Also, if you compare with Valtteri, so yeah, not a good day.
Kimi, if anything, Ferrari probably put you in that position in the first place by having to switch you and Sebastian, but maybe that was inevitable. In terms of your own race, how pleased were you with that?
I was pretty happy. The car was very good today. I felt I had a lot of speed, but then I had to do quite a bit fuel saving in the last part, like after the only pit stop I pushed 3 laps and I gained a lot of lap time on the others, and then I started to start fuel saving, but then I had an issue that I had to get past Valtteri, so then I had to push and it took quite a few laps, and then I started to fuel save a lot again and just had to do that. And I think my car was very good today. The tires lasted very well and everything was fine, but that was really the limit. And also when Seb got close to me, and I just let him pass and try to, to gain some help from him to fuel save more, but a bit closer now.
It's a good job you didn't ease down too much at the end of that race, like you looked like you were doing when you crossed the line, because Max got that 5 seconds and it was quite tight.
Yeah, obviously I had no idea. I only was told when I was in the air that I should go to the podium, but I haven't seen it from outside, so I can't really comment on it. But like I said, my issue was I tried to slow the whole thing down in the previous corner just to save enough fuel to be legal, and then on the line, and I slowed down before the line. So I don't know what the difference was in the end. Probably not a lot. So to be in a top place.
Haley, and it won't stay on the ground.
We spoke before the Grand Prix and you were saying it was feeling great to be back. Now that you've raced, you've seen a checker flag, you've got a hard-earned point. How keen are you to be making this a permanent fixture?
It was a great race. It was more than perfect, I must say. One of the best race of the season, for sure. So fantastic. It was maximum of our car, and very happy about the result.
Yeah, I think if anyone deserved having a strong weekend, it's you. Do you think you've done enough for us to keep seeing you every Saturday, Sunday over the next year?
I know I've done perfect Friday, perfect Saturday, and even more perfect Sunday, so I don't know what else I can do.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you.
A lot of big battles out there on track. Sadly, you had to make that extra pit stop at the end, which was costly, but where do you think that it went away from you today?
Yeah, I think, all the way until maybe 20 laps to go, it was all okay, and the pace seemed to be good, but then the long stint with the soft tire in the end, it's the last 10 laps, just the pace was dropping quite a bit, and the guys who switched to stop, they seemed to be having the edge at that point, and I tried everything I could to defend, but it was too late, you know. Then we had to stop in the end, and unfortunately we couldn't react earlier than that.
Yeah, I suppose when it goes, and you don't get much warning of that. You couldn't have done anything sooner in the race, I presume, because otherwise you would have done it.
Yeah, you know, the problem was in the second stint. You know, we had to manage a lot to make the tires last. But you know, there was Sebastian ahead of me, and Kimi was putting pressure all the time, so I couldn't, you know, make enough tire saving to make the tires last.
Thank you. Thanks. Oh, first Grand Prix, checkered flag. How was it out there for you?
Yeah, it was tough. Awesome though. Yeah, I mean, so shit, it's starting to sink in now. You know, I've taken the pressure off for a weekend, but finally to get to see the checkered flag on the Grand Prix debut Grand Prix was awesome. A few tough fights out there with Ericsson at the end was pretty interesting, side by side, 4 or 5 corners in a row. Yeah, tricky starting from the back. I didn't get the greatest of starts, so that's obviously something to work on. First standing start I've done in I don't know how many years.
You say something to work on. You're expecting to do more Grand Prix?
Would like to. Would like to, but that's I guess I have to see now. I don't really know, but
You've had a lot of success around here in actual fact, but what was the most challenging thing from this weekend about driving a Formula One car? I mean, we know you've done it before, but with this generation.
Seriously quick. High speed is mind-blowingly fast. I think there's no car ever that's been quicker than these in high speed. And learning the tyres, it's so different from what I'm used to. I don't really have any experience on the Pirellis, and especially in qualifying the race, I think I managed it well. Again, I learned so much because it's the first time I saw 20 laps on one set of tyres, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to be, what I had to manage, but a lot of experiences taken from the weekend, and yeah, I'm still smiling.
Brendan, it's been a great advert for your skills, considering this is your first full weekend in Formula One. How desperate, keen would you be to be in Formula One next season?
I think it's clear I would love to be here. Up until now, I haven't been asking the questions. I haven't been pushing anyone. Even when I first had the call to come and have a test on the simulator, I didn't ask anything, just came to the job, and I've tried to do the same this weekend. Let's see. I know there's another race coming up pretty quick, but I'm not holding my breath, and anyway, enjoy them.